My name is Kevin Baker. I am a senior dual major at Rowan University, specializing in entrepreneurship and management. And for this course of human resource management in the fall of 2021, I did my Pecha Kucha on employee development, separation, and furthermore, retention. Here we go. So this right here represents, a new employee. When you enter a business, there's a lot of stages you must climb, and you're really unsure of what to do and what to think of, and where you're going to go within the company. But there's always going to be options that you're going to want to practice, you want to develop. So right when you join a company, you get in your position and you go through a phase called employee training, right? They kind of teach you and familiarize you with what it is you need to do, your responsibility, and your role. And this takes a process of about probably 1 to 3 months, and the employee is finally going to accumulate and they will be trained to their job to the fullest extent. Moreover, after the employee training period, an individual is going to practice that job and start to become more familiarized and stuff for about a period of 6 to 12 months. And at this time, the employee is really going to understand what it is she does and what it is he or she does. And they will continue to do that work until maybe they see a higher vision of themselves. The next step is conversating with the boss, right? You're at a company for about 6 to 12 months. Do you like what you do? Do you like where you are, or do you want to change? Right? Do you want to make future steps within the company and go from an employee to a CEO? Right? So you conversate with the boss and you figure out your next moves. Some employees are satisfied. They like where they're at. They like their life. They don't want change. Maybe they have kids and the schedule works out well. They're already trained to what they do, and now they just are perfecting their craft. And some people really enjoy that. Other employees won't be as satisfied. They want to grow, they want room to grow. And then this is where the employee development begins. Managers and superiors will help guide the employee to what it is he or she wants to do, and they will prepare them for other positions within the company. And this typically happens after about 12 to 18 months when an employee is with a company, sometimes longer. And this is where the employee is going to start to realize, they have key experiences from their current positions, and maybe they want to do more. Now, it is important that the superior or the leader of the employee is giving said employee objectives, right? If you choose to follow the employee development plan, hey, Kevin, this is what you got to do. You need to make sure you get experience in each of these fields, and then there's going to be room to grow. There's going to be other positions for you in the company. And simply guiding with no sense of objectives will be mindless work for the employee, and they're not really going to fully be dedicated and comprehend the work that they're doing because there's no bigger picture. Now, once an employee decides whether he or she is fit for their current position or is looking to grow in a corporation, it is important for the managers to separate themselves from the employee, right? They're going to be following all these other objectives. They need separation. They need to go on their own and realize that, hey, I can do this. I'm capable of this, but they need to get out there and kind of let loose of the employer's hand and start to find their new ways. However, separation should also exist whenever issues are presented to the employer of the organization, whenever something's going wrong with that employee, right? Say a female employee is on maternity leave, there should be time off. If an employee is experiencing tragic loss of a loved one, he or she should have time off. But if an employee is experiencing any personal issues that significantly affect the work that he or she is doing, there should be time off. And it is important that employees get this separation from the company when it is needed. Handshake. What does a handshake represent? It reflects the commitment of the employer to the employee. When there's times when separation is needed, it's, hey, I understand. I'm committed to you. It's very important. Because right now, when it comes to employee retention, we're in the great resignation, right? People are quitting their day jobs because it doesn't satisfy what they want, what they need to do, and they want to go work on their own. They'll get a job elsewhere that can give them the ability to do the work that they want to do and have the time off that they want to have off, maybe work from home. So employees really have the upper hand on these employers. And we're in the phase of the great resignation, where employees are not afraid to step down from their jobs. Commitment. Employers must be committed to the well-being of the individuals that work for them, right? This is the number one factor in employee retention, and leaders must communicate, advise, and have personal relationships with each and every employee. It is a key aspect to showing your commitment and that you care for them. Because if you don't care for them, they're going to leave your company and find another employer who really does care for them. Okay. Red flags. So many red flags happen in business today. It's important that as a leader, you can't get too personal when building these relationships with your employees, right? Because you got to understand that you are working in a business, and if circumstances are not met for time off and separation, and you say there shall be no time off, well, you better be right and make sure that's the right choice, because you must stick to the rules and the agreements. Because if you get too personal to an individual within your company, they're going to ask for time off, or maybe it's something they really don't need to do. It's their son's baseball game, they don't want to miss it. But hey, I have my daughter's first soccer game. I have my nephew's first basketball game. Well, if you're giving them one time off, you're gonna have to give them all time off, and that's gonna really, you know, reflect on the performance of the business. It will not be as good, and that is bad managerial spirit. So it's really important to stick to the good stuff and the right stuff. I'm sorry. We are experiencing a delay in the PowerPoint. My apologies. Sorry, very sorry. Again, it's important to strengthen relationships, not only from a leader perspective, but on the employees as a whole, because you need to realize you want to treat your customers to the fullest extent. But customers, there's two ways: there's internal customers and external customers, right? Because your customer is anyone who's dependent on the work that you do. So if I'm sitting in a cubicle and my teammate Andrew's in the other cubicle, we need to realize that, hey, I got to get these pro formas done so he can do his work. So as there's those relationships within the companies, you're bound for greatness. Right here, we're displaying employee retention, right? Now, all these employees, they're being retained in that little hammock, right? And let's say the hammock is that of the company's support, but they're in with the other people. They're not in there by themselves. Those are their coworkers. All right. In order for good employee retention rates, you need to make sure you have a really good internal culture for your company, because good employees, good relationships from manager to employee to coworker to employee, and then good leader support and company support is going to lead to increased retention and magnified business results. You really want to empower your employees to their fullest potential, and you can't do that. If you have employees leaving, people are coming, people are going, managers don't really care about how their employees feel. You need that perfect world-class internal culture to be a world-class company and drive perfected business results over and over again annually to your investors. Finally, we have the employee development phase, right? Because employee development and correct employee separation, and then also attention to retention rates, will create the perfect environment for employees to blossom. And all that is needed, when you get your employee, you take their word, what it is they want. If they want to stay in their one position and focus on that, let them do that. If they want to have employee development plans, then you provide them that. And as far as separation, if they're in a state where they can't work, you must listen to them and comprehend their feelings and give them the time off that's deserved. And moreover, retaining the employees, you need that world-class internal culture where everyone feels love. It's a great working environment, and then more employees will come. And the first thing new hires are going to look at when thinking about joining a company is, all right, what's their employee retention rate? If it's high, they're going to be in there. If it's low, good luck finding employees. And that is my presentation for the Pecha Kucha HRM Fall 2021 class. Thank you.